but then also remove any risk, right? That like,
Right.
okay, if they failed at something before in the past, oh, they put some money up, they lost money. You want to just remove all that fear and guesswork, and then your conversion just go through the roof.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the High Level Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase awesome marketers doing awesome marketing. Today, I am thrilled to be joined by Jason Wardrop. He is a previous SaaS founder. He's one of the top high-level affiliates. He's a YouTube sensation. He is the man of many talents. Jason, thanks so much for coming on to chat with us.
Chase, awesome to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
So, Jason, I love your story because you come from the SaaS world, right? You've built some SaaS companies in the past. You're a marketing influencer. You found HighLevel right as we were launching SaaS mode, and you were like, wait a minute, if there's one thing I know, it's how to sell SaaS. And so you've done really fantastic with the affiliate program, helping people get up and running in SaaS mode. So I'm super excited to talk to you about that. Where should we start? I mean, where do you start when you talk to somebody like an agency or somebody who's heading into SaaS mode, kind of unsure about what's to come?
Yeah, man. So it kind of even like takes me back to when I first started my own software company back in like 2015. And we were talking a little bit before the call on this, where like, because you have such like a broad offering with like a marketing agency, with SaaS, all that cool stuff with HighLevel, it really could work for any type of business owner. Right. And so it's like, that's one thing where we kind of back ourselves in a corner because we're like, oh, we're going to have such a broad offering this to everyone. And I struggled for probably close to a year with my own software platform, trying to find product market fit because I was trying to be all things to all people. And so really the first thing that I go through and coach people into doing is just finding what is your one core offer and who is your one core avatar that you're going to go through and hit. And once you find that initial connection, then you're able to go through and say like, okay, now I've got the offer, I've got the avatar, how am I going to fulfill this and put systems in place? And then once you've got those things, all right, how do we actually go through and scale this and get more clients on so we can make more money?
Okay, so let's flesh that out in a second. But I feel like the first question I should have asked you was, talk to me about what you love about SaaS in general. So agencies, lots of agencies we talk to are on the fence. So like, I keep hearing about SaaS mode and it sounds sexy and exciting, but I don't know. I might just stick with services. Why do you love SaaS?
I love SaaS because of the leverage and the scalability, right? Because like, obviously you're charging a lot less, but the amount of time and dollars put into each and every client, it's a lot less. And not saying that you don't want to go through and have great support, great fulfillment, all that good stuff. But you can go through and get on a whole lot more customers and clients compared to if you're doing more of like the full service done for you, which obviously you could argue both routes, but I like the idea of the scale. And then if you're with scale, your margins are a lot better. And then your exit valuation is a lot more as well.
True. All right, so let's talk about product market fit. How do you find it?
Well, that's honestly the great thing about HighLevel, I think, is like it's basically tools and systems that are replicating these billion-dollar companies. And so like as far as product market fit, it's like it's already kind of there, right? And so you just kind of got to find out what tools connect with which market. And then once you find out, okay, maybe this market really resonates with online reviews and automating that. And maybe this market more connects with like the workflows and the lead generation. Then you just go all in and focus on just those key features. But that's the cool thing is you don't have to go through and invest tons of money in development and testing different product market fit strategies. And like, okay, does my market want this or that? It's like you have all these tool sets at your fingertips for literally $500 a month. And in the beginning, when you're just going through and testing, talking with clients, you can go through and test out and just hear in the conversations what is getting them excited. Like, oh, that's awesome. Or like, oh, cool. Like, no big deal. So then based on those conversations, you can see what those key pain points are. And then every other additional conversation, you find out more information and find out what's going to connect with that specific market.
Yeah. Once you know the pain points in your next sales call, you're like, are you struggling with this? pain point A? I bet, right? And what about pain point B? Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, cool. Let's talk about how our software solves this for you. But so before we continue with this, I want to pause and reiterate what you just said, because in the entrepreneur world in general, it's everyone pretty much knows that SaaS, software as a service, is the holy grail. It's recurring revenue and it's incredibly scalable, as Jason pointed out. But product market fit, when I laughed because I said, Jason, how do you find product market fit? Like, people spend their entire lives and fortunes trying to find product market fit, right? Like,
Yep.
Everybody has a great idea, but to actually prove that there's a market for it usually costs a fortune, and is sort of like lightning in a bottle, to be honest, I feel like. And so what he said, and what I think we both believe, is that HighLevel has done the hardest part for you. We already know there's a market for everything that's in the core of SaaS mode. Podium has proven it. Bird Eye has proven it. These companies have already proven it. So it's already there waiting for you. The hard part's been done. You can literally go sell it to any business. And then, Jason, what I think you're saying is, well, there's way more features than that in HighLevel. So you can sort of figure out, okay, this industry loves online scheduling. So like, let's make sure that's a part of our offering at some point. Whereas this industry over here, they don't book anything. So that's not like, we're not going to put that on the landing page. We're not going to talk about online scheduling. It won't be in the snapshot or whatever. What do you like certain industries over others? Have you come across any that you're like, whoa, that's so good, or oh, I wouldn't recommend that one?
Well, so my background's in real estate. So that was my software business that I built up. And so I'm very familiar with the real estate investing, even kind of mortgage, all those different things. And my kind of going back to like something you were saying about how HighLevel has so many different tools. The great thing I like about that is for you as the agency owner, right? And especially with SaaS, the whole goal of this is to simplify things and give them the key benefits while making it as easy as possible. And what I like to do is remove a majority of those things where it's like, it's great that you've got appointments, calendars, sales funnels, websites, all that stuff for you as the SaaS founder, agency owner. And it's cool to have all those tools. But then it's like going and finding which niche or which industry you're going to go after. Mm-hmm. What are like maybe the 2 to 3 core features that are really going to resonate with them, and then like drive those pain points home in your offer. And then everything else, like if they want it later on, yes, you can stack on. Intercom is a software platform that does an amazing job with that. They get you in, and we use them through our whole software experience, and they get you in just kind of like, oh, you'd be able to have the 2-way communication with all of your customers. And then like they have a little pop-up inside the software and says, hey, do you want this? And you like, after you go through and like read what it is, you're like, there's no way I could even function in my business without that. And so then you go through, and so we got to the point, I think we were paying like $1,000 per month for Intercom, which was just a simple chat widget on our website and inside the software. But because they had all these different upsells of automating different, I'm like, man, this is amazing. And we need this. We couldn't even, I don't even know how we functioned before this. Right. Yes. So it's kind of like thinking it through that of like, what's the bite-sized piece. And then if you find other offers you can go through and stack on, then obviously scale it up like that.
So yeah, that's a great point. And so an example that I can think of recently is I was talking to some high-level agency that focuses in the restaurant space. And I assumed like, oh yeah, like reservations, online booking, that's probably like the main thing, right? And they're like, no, we don't even do that. And I was like, really? Like, yeah, it turns out that's not really what they cared most about. They really just were more excited about the web chat widget, all the stuff that's in core SaaS mode. And I'm like, whoa, there you go. A great example of like, you got to figure out what really resonates, start with that thing. And then they could probably upsell reservations and online bookings if they, like you said, if they had a process to do the upsell. But I think that really illustrated the point for me of like, yeah, you need to spend time with the market, find those pain points, find what they need most. And then where do you go from there? How do you package that up?
How do you package it up in an offer?
Yeah. Like talk to me about offers and putting them together. Like,
yeah, totally, man. So what we did initially, once we found like our avatar and our core offer of like, so we knew, okay, real estate agents, they want more leads and they want to be able to have more sales conversations and appointments from those leads. Well, back when we first started our software company, our MVP was very basic. So we were charging 39 bucks a month, and it was just me and one developer, and our total expenses were like 10 grand a month. But you look at 10 grand a month, you got to have a whole lot of $39 per month customers. And to get those people with ad spend, all like it was very difficult. So then what we figured out, one was we were still charging way too low at 39 bucks a month. So we bumped it up to 99. But the best way that I have found to package a SaaS offer to sell it, especially even if you're charging $200, $300, even $500 per month, is pre-selling months in advance. And you look at all like the big software companies, they all do this. And what we were doing initially was we were getting somebody onto a webinar, and I was selling, okay, a full year of the software plus all these other bonuses and cool stuff for 12 months pre-packaged in for $1,000, right? And then it got to a point where I'm like, okay, this is good, this is really working. But the only thing is like the whole beauty of SaaS is rebilling, right? Is like that recurring subscription model. And I'm like, if I sign someone up today and we are just like a small software startup, and I don't get that person to rebuild for an entire 12 months, that's very difficult to go through and scale, right?
Right.
And so what we did is we cut that down into 6 months, and we're like, we'll just see how that, affects conversion. And it was crazy. Literally the same offer, but cutting the 12 months to 6 months, nothing changed. And then I was like, maybe it was just the greed in me. I was like, well, what if we could cut that down to 3 months, right? Because we had a full pay of $997, or we split it up into 3 payments of $367. So I was like, well, if they're doing 3 payments, that's month 1, month 2, month 3. After that next month, we could already just, they're already getting used to being billed. We could roll them right into it. So we cut it down to 3 months, and that didn't change a thing whatsoever either. But we were obviously front loading the value of the offer upon like getting started. So like the onboarding and activation was key, making sure they're actually seeing results early on. But that was probably the biggest, I think, mental shift for me when I was first starting, especially at such like a low price point, even like $100, $200 per month. Like it's just too hard to scale, especially with paid advertising. Even if you have a no-brainer offer and you've got your market dialed in completely, you have to pre-sell months and throw in some other different bonuses and stuff so that you can actually charge enough to make sense of investing into your paid ads.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that. And for people wondering, can you do that with SaaS mode? You sure can. Basically, you create the plan with, let's say, a 3-month free trial, but an upfront cost, right? So
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what we do.
I love it. So you get them in on a charge, and then the recurring is not going to start till the end of the 3rd month. You took whatever you're going to take up front. And that's what I love, honestly, about the core features of SaaS mode is there's no downtime. As soon as you put the web chat widget on there, and as soon as you turn on Google My Business Chat, typically conversations start coming in within 24 hours. I mean, if it's an existing business that's doing okay, they have natural traffic, they're just not catching it. And so once you activate that kind of stuff, I feel like you get traction right away.
Totally.
And they're way more willing to talk to you about long-term deals, upsells, this type of stuff, because they're like, whoa, the last agency, they told us it was going to take 4 to 6 weeks for anything to happen, and it took 2 months, and that sucked. And now it's like 24 hours later and leads are coming in. It's like a whole different world.
Totally. And that's the thing I love about software too, is that normally, even like with a traditional agency, you've got usually a setup fee, and most softwares have a setup fee. So if you're like kind of front loading that payment on the front end, but then it's like you look at like online reviews, the web chat, even like online listings, a lot of these different things, it's like a one-time setup, and then it just works. It's not like you're having to go in and set up a new Facebook ad every single month or create new backlinks for your SEO and all that stuff, which is cool. Like you like, we call that like, service stacking out services off after they are in the software. But at the core of it, they can see some massive value with literally minimal fulfillment. You get somebody on like support, somebody in a little chat support widget, they can handle hundreds of customers. And if you've really simplified it enough, like the goal is that you don't ever have support tickets, right? You just simplified it so much that it's like, you think about like Amazon or somebody's like Netflix, Like when was the last time you reached out to Netflix support? Like never, because it's just so simple.
Exactly.
And they just bill you every single month. And so they're able to scale it massively.
I mean, you mentioned reviews. Reviews are so powerful. I literally got hit up yesterday by a friend of a friend here in Puerto Vallarta. They just opened up a boutique hotel. They have some hotel booking software that they're going to use. And they're like, we need sales and marketing help. And I'm like, well, all right, let me, what are you using? So I look up their system and it has Zapier. And I'm like, what if I could automate a review request right after they check out to generate positive reviews for you automatically moving forward? And they were thrilled. And so, I'll go sell them, but whatever, $199 a month off that, basically that one feature set, right? Oh, and I'll put a chat widget on your website so people can text in questions or whatever before they book. They're thrilled. And it's that easy, right? You set it up once and it's just going to run. It's going to send a review request after someone checks out every time. And so the value for them is ongoing, but for me, it only cost me the upfront work to get it installed.
Well, and the thing I think a lot of us forget, because we're just so consumed by this marketing community, we're in the Facebook group, we're studying marketing, we're all this stuff. And we look at that and we're like, oh, that's too easy. No one would ever pay $200 a month for that. Well, yeah, it's so easy for us, but like the person you were talking to, they probably have no idea how to even, like, it probably is like what blows their mind that is even possible, right?
Right.
So it's like kind of that story, the analogy of like the guy went into some like manufacturer and he went to go fix it because it was like totally messing up production. He takes a screwdriver, turns one screw just a little bit, fixes everything. He's like, how much is it? He's like 15 grand. He's like, you just had to go and like turn the screw a little bit. And he's just like, yeah, but I knew which screw to go through and turn. So, you're back in business. So anyway, I just think we kind of sometimes almost like get into our own mental blocks of like, can't charge, like that's too easy, too simple. We got to offer more things and this and that. It's like, at the end of the day, not really. Like the little web chat widget I was telling you with Intercom, there was a point where I was paying $600 a month just for like the web chat. Like it was on my website, all of our sales funnels, and inside of the software so we can go through and communicate. But based on like the number of leads and all that stuff, like $600 a month, like just for that one little feature, right?
Totally.
Where it's like,
I think anybody who's hung up, like you're talking about, on the price that you can charge, like literally I could tell that person, well, basically what we do is we combine Bird Eye and Podium. So like go to their websites and look at the pricing and then come back and tell me if you think $200 a month is too much, and they won't, right? Because it's cheaper than combining those two things. And so I feel like you can just do that all day long.
Totally.
Now talk to me about your guru strategy of mass scale. So
yeah,
I think you mentioned you have a follow-up strategy to get to mass scale. What does that look like?
Yeah, man. So this honestly is my favorite part. And like once I kind of discovered this, I was like, man, this is total game changer, right? Because initially we went through, we had our offer, we had our market, our avatar that we're going through and hitting up. And at that point, it's like once you got that nailed down, scaling up to like 100 grand a month and beyond is all just about lead generation. Just pump more leads into it. And so we talked about going through, putting paid ads, pre-selling several months of the software for $1,000, 2,000, whatever your price point is. But here's the deal. This is going to be traditional numbers for any type of business. If you generate 100 leads on the front end, you're only really going to convert 1 to 3% of those leads into sales within the first, like, let's say 7 to 14 days. Right. And so I was looking at that and like, man, got 97 to 99 people that they showed interest in like what our core offer was because they signed up for like our webinar or value video, whatever our funnel, but for some reason they didn't buy, right? And you can go through and say, well, the trust, credibility, rapport, all that stuff. But also a lot of times it's just price, right? Like a lot of times like the price, $1,000 on someone, like some random kid on the internet they've never heard of, is like, that's a lot to go through and throw down. And so I was at a software mastermind with some major software companies, and they're doing crazy revenue numbers where I was like a little peon in that room. And one of the companies got up and they talked about their challenge funnel, right? Where we've heard of like challenges with weight loss, 14-day weight loss challenge, 30-day challenge. Like they've worked so well in weight loss, and they had gone through and implemented it in software, and they showed the results and they're like, this works so well. And so I was like, you know what, that's actually a good point, because as a follow-up after a webinar, if I'm pre-selling, like let's say 3 months for my software, saying, hey, go get a free 7-day trial to my software, that's just like not sexy whatsoever, right? Every software has a free trial. Every software, like, go try it out. And the truth is, like, a lot of people, even if they do try it, like a free 7-day trial or 14-day or 30-day, what, you could make the trial as long as you want it. If they don't see value within like 5 minutes, they're clicking out and they're never coming back ever again, right? And you just got to think about, like, how would you behave? And so what we did is we put together a 30-day challenge, because we're thinking, you know, okay, I've got developers to go through and pay these bills. The expenses are rising, right? Like, how can we get more recurring income coming in quicker without selling a free 7-day, 14-day trial? And so we're like, well, let's do a 30-day lead challenge. That's what all these real estate agents want. And obviously, depending on your market, you kind of tweak it to, you know, appointment booking challenge or automation challenge or client generation challenge, whatever it is. But if you think about it, if you're doing a 30-day and then you're rolling them and you're leveraging the software and rolling them into a monthly software subscription, it's able to accelerate the number of software clients that you're getting, right? Because initially, out of the 100, you're getting maybe 2 to 3. And then, so what we would do is say, hey, we're gonna help you get 15 exclusive real estate leads in the next 30 days, right? So it's a very tangible end result that they were gonna get in a specific time frame. And so it was really speaking to that market. And like I said, this works for any market. You just got to kind of find what that end result, time frame, put them together, sell it, right? And so we would just go stack the value on this thing, and we were selling it for $200, and it was kind of like what our $1,000 offer was. It was just like a little bit watered down, right? Where it's like we're still getting them the core value and all that stuff, but with that, we were able to see like 5 to 8 times more people going through and signing up through that, even right out of the gate. And so we were able to see a lot more monthly software subscriptions. And the crazy thing about this is we actually saw a higher lifetime value and a lot lower churn from people entering in through this 30-day lead challenge. And so compared to the webinar, right? And so you would think, okay, if somebody's willing to go through and pay more money, they're a higher value client. But going back and looking at all my stats, all my numbers, we were doing this for years, like the 30-day challenge people, it just like, there was like no comparison. And so that entry point, so that was like, that came down to it. Like our scale was run paid ads to a webinar, pre-sell months plus training and templates to the software, you know, for a higher ticket, $1,000, or, you know, we even got up to $2,000, different packages and stuff. And then the follow-up after that was the 30-day lead generation challenge. And what we did on that is every single Monday, we would send out a new case study email saying like, here's so-and-so, here's the result they got. And here was like their pain points before they jumped in the 30-day lead challenge. Here's the result after the 30-day lead challenge. Do you want to join it? Here's the link to go through and join. And so that was like, and so every single Monday, they're seeing a new person getting a new result. And like, as you're going through, if like you have something that works, I mean, you get like, there was a time I think we had like 12 weeks in advance of just like emails scheduled out of different case studies, because just like the success stories rolling through. And that's like the ultimate social proof and just getting a ton more people into your business.
So you get people to pay for the 3 months up front, and then you hit them with the challenge. Are you up for the challenge? And that basically pulls your churn way down because they're getting to success through the challenge.
So okay, so I'm not, the people that prepaid for the 3 months for the webinar offer, I'm not like, they're going through that program. I'm not hitting them up. So I'm hitting up everyone that did not buy. Right.
Got it. Okay, good.
And so anyone that did not buy, because like I want to fill in my client base as much as possible. So I'm hitting them with that. And then, as a lot of you guys know, I'm a YouTuber guy. So what I would sprinkle in too was like, okay, that was on a Monday, and then like on a Thursday, I would do just like a pure value-based video. Like I wasn't asking anything. I was just going through, sharing, showing them like, here's the templates, here's how to go through, here's step-by-step how to set it up. And then down in the link in the description and the top comment that you can pin at the top, I would have a link back to that 30-day lead challenge.
Got it.
With like a quick, like, here's like a quick synopsis of the offer, right? Which then they click and they see the full sales page.
So let me ask you a question. Do you tie a money back guarantee to the challenge, or do you feel like that's not necessary?
So what we did, because here's the thing, we got to a point where like, especially at scale, you get so many people that are just tire kickers. And so what we did is we tied it to a lead guarantee. So we said, we're going to get you 15 exclusive leads in 30 days. Like there were times where in 48 hours, we were getting people like 30 to 40 leads. So it was like the under promise, over deliver type thing. So it's like, they're already not getting leads from their website. So it's like 15 in exclusivity. There's a lot of sites that sell leads to multiple different agents. And so it's like, who's the first one to get in contact? And so like, that's where it comes to like really knowing your customer, hitting those pain points, and then under promise, over deliver. Cause we knew, okay, if you get leads, that's what the core thing is. That's what you want. Right. And so in order to guarantee that they did get leads, we also threw in a bonus of, hey, a member of our team is going to actually set up your first lead campaign for you. Like we're going to take out all of the trial and error, any of the guesswork, and ensure that you 100% get leads with this. And so that was kind of like the onboarding call. We go through, connect their Facebook account, get their stuff set up, put in the workflows, like the follow-up systems and all that stuff. And so like there was, I mean, we probably had, a couple of refunds over the time that we were doing it, but it was probably, I think there was one person that ever did not get leads. And so that obviously was, but then sometimes you get some disgruntled people that you're like, I'm just going to refund it and not deal with what's the stuff.
But I think, but so the point is that if you can make a money back guarantee, I'm assuming it increases the performance of that campaign by 100%. A lot, right? I mean, it makes total sense to me. And I think, my gears are spinning here, especially with HighLevel, like reactivation campaigns, right? Like I'm imagining I could build a course that walks you through how to like export your contacts, upload them into HighLevel, and send them all some offer. And odds are you're going to get X amount of leads out of that, right? So any way that you can come up with like something where it's basically guaranteed that something's going to happen, and then you tie the money back to that.
Well, yeah, because you want to stack the offer, you want to stack the value to be like, oh man, this is totally worth the money, but then also remove any risk, right? That like, okay, if they failed at something before in the past, oh, they put some money up, they lost money. You want to just remove all of that fear and guesswork, and then your conversion just go through the roof.
And then do you tie your original offer back to the end of okay, so I didn't buy the 3 months up front. I did the challenge. Do you then try to get me to pay for 3 months up front after that?
So I guess you could. My whole goal was, since it was software, I only cared about monthly recurring revenue.
Just once they're on.
So the whole upsell into the $1,000 3 months prepaid, I really didn't care. And the $1,000 was more to subsidize my advertising cost of getting people in, and then be able to generate basically an unlimited number of leads that I was able to get in front of. And then from there, as you stack on that monthly recurring revenue every single month, you got the people from the month before, plus the new people, obviously minus the churn and all that stuff. But that was my end goal, because I was wanting to build a business that, I could then go exit, and not just like having kind of the one-off course sale type business.
Yeah. You mentioned that before. I mean, people don't buy businesses that can't prove recurring predictable revenue. Right. So
totally.
Again, why SaaS is sort of the holy grail here. So Jason, I know, I don't want to keep you here forever, but these are amazing insights that you're sharing. And I know that you've helped a lot of people, through your affiliate link, get started and get going with this model. But you also have a program, right? You have a coaching program for this?
I do. It's called the Agency Partner Program.
And so talk to me about it, and tell us where people can head if they want to check it out.
Yeah, man. So basically inside of that program, I basically break down everything that I did in my own business to get all of my clients. And so I kind of go through about how I would approach going through and simplifying down the software, what I would offer, how I offer it, the funnels, the templates. I mean, I've got everything in there because you know, I just want to help the agency owners, people wanting to go through and implement SaaS into their business. So what we can do, like, so I cover a ton of this stuff on YouTube. If you guys want to check me out over there, just type in my name, you can find it. And for everyone that does sign up under my link, I just actually grant the course for free. That's on the 30-day extended trial. So anyway, hook you guys up with that.
And what's the URL for your, oh wait, here, I have it here, myleadformula.com/go?
Yes, that is my full program.
Okay, cool. So we'll make sure that we link that up in the post below. You guys can go check it out. Like I said, Jason, you may have skyrocketed up the affiliate leaderboard faster than anyone has. So he definitely knows what he's talking about when it comes to selling SaaS. So you might want to go check out that course. But Jason, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some free nuggets with us.
You got it. Chase, thanks for having me, man.
All right, we'll be sure to have you back soon. I think did you win a Tesla the other day?
I did.
Nice.
I did. Yeah, Kelsey. I don't know if they announced it yet or whatever, but I know Kelsey shot me an email. So I'm in the process of picking out the electric vehicle at the moment.
I thought I saw that. Congratulations, man. Do you know which one you're going to get?
So I'm leaning towards the Model Y Performance right now.
Nice.
So my wife is wanting me to get the Rivian truck.
Oh yeah, that looks cool.
Which is cool. I'm holding out. I want to get the Cybertruck. That's like my one true love is the Cybertruck. So for now, I'll probably just get the Model Y Performance, which is also a sweet looking car.
Very cool. Congrats. Well, I look forward to the video when you get your keys.
Okay, sounds good, man. Thanks a bunch.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next one.